After a hiatus in the Lockdown Mantra series, this is Sheeba once again with my 31st edition. Today marks 2 years since Papa left us. It is the time of the year when I want to be nowhere else but by his side, in his final resting place. Sadly, the third wave has swept in and washed away all my hopes of being there with him. I'm sure there are many viewers out there who feel the same pang as we do as a family. We can't even be there with Mama as she sits alone at home with vivid flashbacks of each moment of that last day. Last year we went home with Mama. As I opened the gate, a million memories swept in front of my eyes. Papa standing in front of our home, waiting to welcome us, giving us that one-hand hug of his as each one of us walked in. I whiff in his Old Spice aftershave odor and move on to greet Mama. Once inside, the familiar yummy smells waft into our noses and tickle our taste buds to make us start drooling as we head into the kitchen, where she will be busy making her trademark dishes. I remember as I opened the gate and walked across to the front of the house, I could just feel him walking beside me, helping me to open the door and step inside. Everything was the same, and I could feel his presence, which made it so comforting. That is the scent of a home. That scent of our homes brings a million memories. For most of us, especially those of us who stayed in the hostel, our ancestral home was our second home. My ancestral home in Chenganu was next to the railway line, and it was built by my father. Each room, including the tatamburam or attic, had a special smell and an album of memories pasted within them. When I was little, I used to sleep with Amachi at night, listening to her funny and crazy tales as I breathed in her medicated oil smell or korumbinde manam. The highlight of our days was counting the number of compartments of the passing trains with our cousins. If a goods train came chugging along, I literally lost track. Watching the chicks hatch, chasing crows that would peck on that rice that was just boiled and rolled out onto the mats to dry, and many other odd jobs as these were fun and exciting in those days. There was a level crossing near our house. When I was very small, I loved to chat to those lonely gatekeepers who stood guard to save lives while being miles and miles away from their own home. Unlike now, where we are wary about talking to strangers, these guards loved my visits and non-stop chatter. I could butter them with my innocent smile and bribe them to let me walk on the rails of the track. It was a great balancing act, and when they warned me about an oncoming train, I would put my head on the rail to hear the sound. Below the railway bridge was the mighty Pamba River, where my mother and aunt would swim and bathe while I let the little fish nibble my feet. Visit to my maternal grandmother's home was rare but memorable. Usually we went when our cousins visited. This small 3-bedroom house was enough for all of us to sleep. Her ara or storeroom was dark even though it was dimly lit by an incandescent bulb. Whenever she popped in, she would return with a delicacy and her famous orange squash. Another incandescent bulb hung over the small dining table, flickering as we ate and laughed together over her mouth-watering dishes. Amachi joined in with her non-stop giggles. In both these homes, peeing at night was out of the question, as there were no attached bathrooms. It would take another entire episode to narrate those bathroom adventures. After years of shuttling between hostel, grandmother's homes, and Malaysia, our parents finally came back to India in 1988 when I was in the 10th standard. We stayed for rent in a small and wonderful neighborhood for nearly 7 years. We grew up having fun, teasing each other, playing 7 tiles of badminton, celebrating festivals and birthdays like one big family. This gang of great friends was the highlight of our lives. We still keep in touch with them years after we moved out of childhood to adulthood, from children to nearing grandparent stage. In 1995, we moved into our home. I was there from the beginning, helping them to move and arrange everything in this new abode just before my sister arrived for the delivery of her firstborn. This home is special to all who step in for different reasons. And this home has been different because of a special person, our father. Their garden with occasional blooms still looks so green that even our neighbors could feel his presence everywhere. His study room has his table and Mummy's sewing machine beside it, as always. I could almost see him bending over, writing in his book, which we used to tease as Kurupinda Kanakka Pustagam. But that was what kept all our finances intact. Their bedroom and the bed that he lay when he was taken away was where we find our deepest comfort as we curl up and lie. This is my home, and I'm sure your childhood home too is one such storehouse of memories. And we need to keep our homes safe and happy so that our children too will feel the magic of our homes. It is difficult in these trying modern days where fingertip technology robs us of feeling and living, fully absorbing the essence of our homes. And to those people who rob their children of the opportunities to spend time with their grandparents and parents, who refuse to let children and grandchildren into their homes over misunderstandings, that is nothing in comparison to the big picture called life. After losing both their paternal grandmother and maternal grandfather in a span of 1 year, our children feel the loss because their bond was that strong. Remember that the million memories strung together with all the sensory feelings wrapped together with love is what is our true heritage. Don't rob the next generation of the scent of our homes. Pick up the phone, visit them, and be there, because you should never regret it later. My hope and prayer is that our children will carry on this legacy. I hope that it will be the same for you at a time when we have said goodbye to so many loved ones in these 2 years of suffering and pain.